right, and we're back and in pain, apparently.
Yeah, sorry. I got like a weird step.
So before we went live to that little video, we were making Wookiee noises, and now we're in pain.
Yeah, that's going to be a really beautiful freeze frame later.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Shit.
Not as bad as the one automatic one that we had a couple weeks ago, where I like to, it was
You
the
look
death
so
of
pretty.
me.
You're so beautiful on the internet, Chris.
I'm out there.
The face of CGM.
It's a face. It is a face.
One whole face.
Trailers. So one other trailer we got this week was another one for Sonic 2, which shows a bit more of the kind of plot and the struggle for the Chaos Emeralds that seems to be going on.
Master Emerald. Get it right, Chris. The Chaos Emeralds are different from the Master Emerald.
I don't like emeralds. I don't like green.
These are Sonic lore facts. You gotta know them.
Can we do like sapphires instead? I like
Sonic
a sapphire.
can't turn supersonic from the Master Emerald. He needs all 7 Chaos Emeralds to go supersonic.
I was debating making a big pull from my years of being a kid reading those comics, but I'm not going to. We'll move on.
I read them too, Chris. So.
Anyways, more.
I wrote them. No, I'm sorry.
Well, you could have. They were out there. We need to do some. We need to do some stories on those things. They were out there.
And Brendan did the inking. So
there you go.
You were 6 years old and you wrote them, which actually would make a lot of sense.
But Brendan would have been old enough to write them or draw them if I was 6, because he's 100. I'm just saying. Just want to throw that out there.
That's a little harsh.
That's adult content there, Brendan. Settle down. Behave yourself.
I'm talking about comics when we were like I was 5 years old, so yeah, that's
be professional. Yeah.
Anyways, Sonic looks awesome. And I think that's
it really does. It's like it's so funny with every trailer I see of Sonic, like how excited I am to see it, and then with every like new piece of information I get about the Mario movie, I'm just like, oh no.
Well, they've actually been quiet about that. They've been so quiet about that since they announced Chris Pratt. It's like, ugh.
Oh yeah, with reason.
Everyone really thought that we'd hear more about it on March 10th there, but
Mario Day.
Radio silence. That's scary to me.
No, you know what? I think that's very in line with Nintendo. Like they typically don't, like even with their game stuff, they typically don't like really showcase anything until like it's more or less ready to show. I think they just wanted to like, remind people it was still in production and it wasn't in development hell by like announcing the cast at the very least. But like it really is it will probably be a thing that like they won't put out the first trailer till it's like ready to go.
Yeah, and like there's even been like talk that some of the previous projects they've been working on were canceled because word of it got out. So it's like I'm not in that regard, I'm not surprised that they're hiding it. But I'm also wondering now if they're hiding more because of their reaction to it.
It's possible. I could see that.
Yeah.
Either way,
games do it.
It's true. Yeah, Nintendo games even.
Yep.
I was thinking after watching the trailer, like I can't believe we live in a world where we're getting a second good Sonic movie.
Yeah.
Like there was, potentially it looks like good. The jury's out, but like even the prospect that this thing looks good is amazing to me because like I never thought they'd pull it off in the first place.
I even like the poster is calling back to Sonic 2.
Yes. Oh my god.
Nice touch.
It was and part like even I think when the movie first got announced, I was like, if they don't make a poster for this movie that looks like the second game cover, I'm gonna be like genuinely pissed off.
Well, actually, it's different because he had his arms crossed in the game cover. So
you know what, Chris? I'm not gonna lie, that bothered me too. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie about it. I was like, come on, you were right there.
You were this close.
But it's that same thing too that just makes me like a little bit annoyed still that they brought Knuckles into this, because I was like, come on, like you did the cover and everything. Like the second movie should have been reserved for Tails and the third movie should have been reserved for Knuckles.
Yeah, they wanted to get Knuckles in there. You can't leave that Idris Elba money on the table, right?
Yeah. Then they could have potentially cast him as like Shadow in the fourth movie or something. Bring Chaos into the mix.
Is this gonna like turn out to be like Spider-Man 3? Was it so. With like all the baddies?
Who are they going to cast as Rouge? Because she's going to be the big pull for the fifth movie.
Man, I wish I had the memories that you guys have. I played Sonic games nonstop when I was a kid. All I remember is spinning and rings.
There's a reason that I, and maybe Chris and Brendan, I don't know so much about Brendan, remember Rouge the Bat.
Oh yeah, that was a dumb.
There was a reason when a little young boy, Jordan, saw Rouge the Bat for the first time.
A little young boy, Jordan.
I remember her because she was the counterpart to Knuckles in Sonic Adventure 2, which is the game I played exclusively on the GameCube when I got it. So that's why I remember her. But
I got a little tape recorder and I recorded like Escape from the City and all the music from the game because it was so banging.
Escape from the City was a banger. That is certified.
Optimal Push made a good point. What would have been better is not showing Knuckles at all until after release. I love when movies do that so much. Like we're already hyped, especially for something as big as Sonic or anything that's a sequel that already did well. People are already pumped for it. They're already hooked. So let's let them be excited.
Yeah,
but
can you imagine like the rumors if like people walk out of that theater going like, yeah, Idris Elba shows up as Knuckles halfway through.
Yeah,
people are like, you're just a troll, such a troll.
But
no one would believe it.
It's probably for the best that they like did show him at the very least, just because like, you know, the first movie wasn't the best, but for like it was fine. And like for you know, that's a low bar to clear for video game movies, but like especially a Sonic movie where it's like you know, we were joking around, but it's like really, it's like there is a lot of like deep lore to it that's genuinely stupid. Like, how do you adapt that game into a movie, right? So the way they did it in the first movie worked well enough. Now it actually does seem like, as much as they're going to kind of ground it in reality and have some of those little elements, like they are pulling a lot more from the game, right? Like just with the way like Robotnik shows up, like looking the way he does and acting the way he does, and Knuckles being in the picture now, like. I think I'm hopeful just from what I've seen that it's actually going to be a more like focused on Sonic, like from the game movie.
Yeah, I kind of get that vibe too, because like one thing I was indifferent on with the first movie is how much time they spent in like the human world stuff.
Yeah,
like I could have done less of that personally, but it looks like they're moving gradually into all the crazy game and comic stuff. Like the recreation of the Death Egg robot and all that stuff. Just yes.
Even the snowboarding segment too, down the mountain, like
and that Winter Soldier joke they keep using every single time.
But even just the way too, like the way that the trailer like shows off kind of like a more playful Sonic, right? Like he actually does, like the way he's sort of like making like dumb jokes and stuff, like he feels very much more like that like campy 90s style Sonic that we all know and love.
Yeah, Ben Schwartz was like the perfect choice.
Oh yeah, no, he was, and he's a huge Sonic fan. Like he loved the games.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, there was like a whole interview where he was like just talking about it for like an hour. Like he loved Sonic.
Oh,
Dana, were you going to say something there? Or did
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I also like Sonic.
I haven't seen the first movie because we've discussed it's not quite my jam. My son went to see it with his aunt for his birthday. My son saw the first one in theaters with his aunt, and actually his birthday's in February, and his aunt called and said, "Kate, I'm taking him to the next Sonic in April." Nice. Okay, sure. Good plan. So he likes it. It's fun, but I still, because I haven't seen it, can't visualize exactly how that works with the real life and the not. But I do very much just want a reason to see Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. He went a little off the deep end, so I haven't seen him in anything that makes me happy in a long time. Like I'm even good with like the Number 23 and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Jim Carrey, give me all Jim Carreys. That's one of my favorite movies. That and Garden State, which has nothing to do with it, but I put them on the same weird level.
Was he in Garden State?
No, I just put them on the same weird level.
They're on the same time, kind of sad movies. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they're two of my favorites. But any excuse for me to be able to see him do something, because he's kind of off the radar lately. It's
such a shame that like the average movie-going audience doesn't appreciate him unless he's doing like crazy Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey stuff. People hate like the Cable Guy, but I love that movie. Like even from like a young age, before I really understood half of what was going on. Like he's still funny in it, and it's like something different. I don't want to see him do the exact same thing every time.
Yeah,
and it's not that he's like, not even just that he's genuinely funny. Like he is genuinely like antagonistic. Like he's such a like a tense presence throughout that movie. I don't think you're 100% right. People didn't appreciate it when it first came out because they only thought of him as the goofy, silly man.
Yeah,
it's like you had 3 movies of him doing that in 1 year. I think it was like 1994. He did like at least 2 or 3 movies like that.
Maybe, yeah.
I really want to go watch the number 23 now. I saw that when I was young and liked it, and now I'm wondering if I, as an adult, will be like, "That's a good movie."
I'm thinking the same thing. I don't know. I've heard some people say it doesn't hold up.
Like, when did that come out?
That was like mid. I feel like that was mid. Yeah, like mid to or like.
I must have been high school, probably.
I think it was. Yeah,
I think I was
2007.
Like,
2007.
Shit.
So
what
that
if it
was
came out in 2023.
It came out on the 23rd, though.
Yeah.
Did it really?
It did.
As
February 23rd.
Joe says in the comments, everything is 23.
Hey, with the weird broken capitals. Good jobs. Good Englishes.
Very good.
Damn it. I'm having a good day, guys. But yeah, no. I think that's gonna be my new experience is does that movie hold up? Because I remember being young and being like, my mind is blown, and now I feel like I'm gonna watch it and be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
All these squares.
Nothing is 23.
I feel
all
like
the math is actually wrong.
We were exactly the age to enjoy that kind of movie. It's the same reason why going back and playing Kingdom Hearts, I'm kind of like,
doesn't do it.
And as an adult, I'm like, why did I ever think this was good? Like, because it came out when I was 16 and I was an idiot.
Yeah.
This is edgy, right? This is cool.
We're talking about Hearts of Darkness, but there's Disney too.
That was when it felt like you were watching grown-up movies. So you were like, I'm watching out of high school movies. Thank you. These people are past puberty.
Unsophisticated. Thank you.
Go back and watch Donnie Darko. It is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen.
I don't think that's true. I think
it's so stupid.
In the comments right
now.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Wait. I've never seen it.
It's so dumb. It's the
really people are allowed to not see that. I didn't think I was allowed. I thought I was gonna get shot just now.
No,
Chris, let's have a movie date.
Let's have a club for the No Donnie Darkos club.
Yes, that's this half of the screen.
Oh,
I can't make this.
Yeah, that's what I feel like people might fight you on that one though.
Whatever, let them come.
The people that love it, right?
You loved it when you were. Listen, I thought it was brilliant when I was 16 too. Okay.
What about Southland Tales? That was real weird.
I don't know that one.
Southland Tales.
That was the follow-up to Donnie Darko.
Oh, then
there was a follow-up to Donnie Darko.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Okay, here's a good question. What is a movie like? You will die on. Like, this movie is gold. I don't care what you say from your childhood or whatever.
From my childhood?
Or like, I guess it doesn't have to be, but usually the movies that you're like, nope, that's gold.
Okay,
aren't from like today.
And maybe this is gonna discredit me big time, calling Donnie Darko a piece of shit. But I genuinely think the Mario Bros movie holds up. Like,
it does not.
If I disconnect it from everything Super Mario and look at it just as
it's just a movie,
campy sci-fi,
hold on.
like comedy.
Mr. Lore Jordan is like, but just like forget all that other stuff. It's fine. Except for when he talks about something.
Even if you look at it as a Mario movie, like, it's so ridiculously out there and fun that like it kind of
I've never seen
works.
it.
I can see there being a case for it being like so bad, like The Room, right? Like,
but it's not.
People
like
watch it
Room
because it was a train wreck.
It does have genuine moments.
They were rewriting the script every single day and drinking on the set. Like,
and Bob
cannot make a polished good movie from that.
That sounds like a bunch of theater kids got together and made a movie because they are always drunk or high on the set.
No, they hated the movie. Bob Hoskins
genuinely
and John Leguizamo just hated it.
They were drunk the whole time. Like he flat out admitted in an interview that him and Bob Hoskins were just like wasted the entire filming.
Didn't he hurt his hand halfway through?
He did because they went on to set wasted, and there was a scene where they get in this like truck, and John Leguizamo slammed the door on Bob Hoskins' hand and like literally like crushed his hand.
I love everything John Leguizamo does that I've seen anyway. Usually it's all the same, so maybe there's some weird stuff I don't know about, but I'm just always happy when I see him. Yeah,
you know what's funny? I actually had to convince my family that John Leguizamo was Bruno. Kind of speaking of Encanto before the podcast. They thought he was Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I was like, no, he just wrote the music. I'm like, that's
it is
John
weird
Leguizamo.
that Lin didn't have a speaking role. Actually,
it is a little weird, yeah.
Hmm.
And then they had the gall to be like, I don't know who that is. You keep saying that name. I'm like, you know who he is.
You've guaranteed
You
you've seen something with him
You
in it. at some point.
absolutely know. Yeah.
He was
But
in
this
the
guy's
John
shows right.
Wick, he was in everything.
Yeah, we don't talk about him. Correct. There is
And then he raps at the end, which is weird. Yeah, that's just.
Brendan, do you remember that movie we watched recently with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler?
Yes.
They were like sisters and they go back and like throw a party in their childhood home. No, but fair. John Leguizamo's in that. He's super gross. And I just, as soon as he popped on screen, I was just like, oh, I'm happy. Nothing about him should make you happy.
What movie was that?
Like it.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. What was it?
There's probably like 87 to choose from.
Isn't it like, yeah, exactly. There's so many.
Listen to the podcast where we try and remember. Is it literally just called Sisters?
I think it's just called Sisters.
That's embarrassing.
That's
embarrassing. Amy Poehler.
Oh yeah, that's Sisters. 2015 Sisters. Okay, I don't think I ever saw that.
2015. It's pretty good. I liked it. It was fun. So I mean, it's not going to win an Oscar.
Not quite from the age group you were talking about, but
no, that wasn't the movie I was dying on. That was just me getting excited about John Leguizamo again. I don't think I have one because I think most of the ones that I would choose are kind of like that for everyone. I mean, Evil Dead would probably be one, but anybody that liked Evil Dead still likes Evil Dead. Like I mentioned, Garden State, Eternal Sunshine. What else am I like? You know what movie I like that I don't think anybody else is going to agree with? Armageddon. That movie is my go-to cry. I will go back. Oh, Optimal Push is yelling for Mad Max 2. Those are his life. He's good. But yeah.
Was that the We Go In, We Kill? Is that
maybe?
Just walk away.
Or am I thinking of the South Park parody of that?
Yeah, you're thinking of that. That's
yeah, I'm thinking of that. Let's not describe what that scene is.
Forget his name. Like,
Armageddon, though. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie when it came out, but I don't know how that would hold up now.
That's like my go-to. Yes, thank you, Death Angel. Thank you. Yeah, that's my go-to. Like, I Want to Be Sad Today movie, and that movie will make me cry 407 times. Happy or sad. Brew will. Sorry, I do that sometimes. Yeah. So
I will say, I think a lot of people don't give enough love to the Speed Racer movie that was directed by the Wachowskis. It is so genuinely good. Like, as a live action adaptation of like the Speed Racer TV show, it's got just the right level of camp. It's got like just the right level of like really good special effects, but they like kind of like get really like trippy and avant-garde with it at times. The car races are like, the race scenes are amazing. Like, the casting is effing dynamite. Like, they did such a good job with that movie.
Yeah, you were right. It is legit good. I forgot when it first came out, no one really liked it, but I do think it.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing that was crazy. But like, nobody came out for it. I think I saw it in the theater like 3 times. I was just like, this is the best. Because I really loved Speed Racer growing up as a kid. I used to watch the show all the time when it was like they were running it in syndication.
That show is weird.
It's so weird.
That explains everything about Jordan.
That does. I was going to make a joke.
I have the box set. I've been rewatching it. It is the weirdest, best show in the world. Yes, Dana. Please.
I was going to say first movie you ever saw in theaters then, but I also not everybody answered my question yet. Armageddon makes him sad for totally different reasons. Like, it's a bad movie. Thank you, Kari, coming from YouTube. That's exciting.
It's just the prospect of a Michael Bay movie making you cry sounds funny to me in 2022. It's just like, how could a Michael Bay make someone cry?
He's made.
So you're all sitting down and watching it with me.
But I can also see
and Armageddon
the sacrifice moment might get to me potentially now that I'm a father. I can see. I will see you that.
Yeah, no, that's a whole different. I don't think I've watched it since I've been a mom. It's gonna be an ugly cry now. It's a whole different cry.
Don't do that. Movies hit totally different when you're a parent.
They do. I'm a little sad.
Like Encanto, at the end, I'm like, they recognize her.
I ugly cry during Encanto, and my son, who's like still not great with empathy, is like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?
Why?
Why are you crying?" And he just like puts an arm around me, but has completely just dead face. I'm like, "This is good. This is fine."
At least he has the instinct to do that much. That's something.
Kid's got a head on his shoulders.
Progenitor cried at Transformers. I have so many
Yeah.
movie questions now. I still need Brendan and Chris to give me the movie they're going to die on.
I
want to know first
I don't
movies
have
in
a good, I don't have a
theater.
good answer anymore because I would
No?
have
Yeah.
formally said the Star Wars prequels aren't as bad as people made them out to be, but people have come
they're
around on
bad.
them, so it's I don't even really
They're
have a leg to stand on.
The
there.
one with little Anakin. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
even
will
that's
say-
better. That's
I will
better than we
say-
thought it was.
Phantom Menace is watchable. Clone Wars is a god awful piece of garbage, and Revenge of the Sith is not
Chris's
as
face.
bad garbage, but still pretty bad.
Hold my beer.
Okay. Did I explain to you guys
died
how
because she
I
was
watched the
sad.
Star Wars movies?
Yeah, they're not perfect. There are definitely huge flaws like that one.
No, that's it.
If-
Disqualification.
She gets very
If-
sad and dies.
If
in the
Miscast Joe is
cra-
in here, oh god, no, go! I'm changing the subject, so if you need to
No.
finish what you're saying, get it out.
In the crazy sci-fi future where they have spaceships and laser swords, a woman can die from sadness.
Van Helsing,
No.
Van Helsing, they hit everything, smash through walls, like total fight. I think it's her. It might be him. Passes out or gets knocked out from landing on a couch.
Yeah.
After smashing through an entire building, the couch is what gets them. So yeah, I
That
totally get
didn't
that.
break
Have you
her fall.
smashed through a building before, Dayna? It makes you very sleepy.
So the couch is just gotcha. Sorry, it makes so much more sense
He
now.
was just tired.
No,
As
the
a friend
thing
of mine
for-
once said, Padme dies because there are no OBGYNs in space.
I mean, Dark Jedi's still
Had I
good.
not had no BGYN,
Yeah.
I'd be dead. So
Kari in the comments is getting my blood up.
Yeah,
This
don't
new
even
Star Wars
start,
shows makes the
Kari.
prequels look like art. Sir, that
No,
doesn't matter
I
for
mean-
another time.
I mean,
Ed blocked.
That's my
Um,
movie. I will die. Not from when I was a kid. I will die defending
Well-
Last Jedi.
Okay.
yeah, Last
So-
Jedi, of course.
Like I said, if not optimal, he is here. If Miscast Joe is still here, he can tell you exactly which Star Wars movie. Because again, we know I'm bad with names, titles, all that jazz.
Mhm.
But the way that I watched the first 3 Star Wars movies, maybe the 4th one, because I don't know which one he took me to. No, that's not him. He's not answering my question. It's more important. I watched all of them. I speed watched them in a day
As one does.
before we saw the midnight showing of the 4th or 5th. I'm not entirely sure. So like I'm power watching, but kind of fast forwarding. And he's like standing beside me going, yeah, you could probably fast forward through this part. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because I had never seen any of them. So I got to meet up with little baby Anakin, but I had to like force it all into one day. And I was like, I hate him. I hate him. I hope he dies. I hate him. Like I was so mad the whole time. Yeah, that was a lot of
Yeah.
Star Wars for one day. I know. I've
Poor
got some
Jake
That's a lot of
issues.
Star Wars.
Poor
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd. That was
Yeah.
not
Did
his
his
fault.
parents steal all his money or something?
Oh, probably. Hey, he's had a rough life since then.
I'm stealing it right now. What?
Poor Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best. They did not prosper.
Yeah,
profit
they
from
didn't
that movie
deserve
very much.
the shit they got.
What was your other movie question, Dana? That we're on this.
Well, I was going to ask first movie you saw in theaters because, like, the 3 of us are similar age. Brendan's 104, so I'm just curious. I know no one has mine, but
So
I'm curious
he's
if any
aged
of you
4
guys have
years
some.
since the podcast started because you said earlier he's 100.
It's
so
been a long night, guys. It's been a long.
this is
night.
some weird Benjamin Button bullshit right here.
We decided he was aging backwards with fun, so
My answer, I believe the first one I saw in theaters is one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones when I was really young. I think my parents took my brother and I had
Okay.
to tag along.
sorry. What about in theaters alone without your parents?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good question.
that would be the second Matrix, or the third Matrix movie.
Okay.
Because I was
Okay.
I was trying to find someone to go with me, and no one would go with me. And one day I locked myself out of the house when I was coming home from school, so I just went to the movies because nothing else to do.
That's a good system. A little bit of trauma. I like it.
It's a good way to see that Matrix movie.
Oh,
Yeah, nothing
you tell
better to do.
Keanu I was alone and you protected me.
Yeah,
Mine alone was Spice World.
Oh, that's fair.
that was definitely.
Well, where we live, it's not that bad, and it was very close, so it worked out.
Fair.
It was good times for me.
I mean, I had to walk 15 minutes to the theater to do that for the Matrix, but I was like
Woo.
teen, so
Woo. I don't know what's happening over here. Yeah, we did Spice World. I mean, I saw Men in Black with my parents, and I like dressed all in black.
I saw that in
'cause
theaters
I
too.
was
Actually,
so cool. What about you, Jordan?
I genuinely can't remember. Like, I think maybe one of the earliest movies I saw, not like technically on my own, but like without my parents. What might have been episode 1.
Oh,
because I went with my cousin, who's like he was like maybe like 4 years older than us at the time. Like so, yeah, that was like one of the first ones I can remember at least seeing.
Do you guys remember $2 theaters? Did you guys have them?
I did.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
We had one here. Miss Castro's probably gonna freak out now that I just said it, because he just said he saw everything in theaters from 1993 to 2001, and he's not wrong because we had a $2 theater here. I'm sure he like lived
penny
in the
theater.
movies.
I mean, it was
Mhm.
for us. It was like Toonie Tuesdays.
Oh,
at
ours we
one
just had
theater.
one that pretty sure it always played $2 movies. It was downtown. Well, not downtown. I don't know, the Lincoln Theater. I was too young to go, so I don't remember. I'm probably lying.
Ours was Rainbow Cinemas, which I think was a small chain, but I think they're closed entirely.
Rainbow's
Someone
still
else
around.
owns it now.
Is it still in Galleria?
It's something else now. It's not Rainbow
that's
anymore.
lame.
Well, Brendan,
Yeah.
the theater I'm talking about, you know where Winners is at the Fairview Mall here?
Yep.
Yeah, that is that was the theater.
Oh, well, okay.
That whole corner was the movie theater. We would go and get supersized McDonald's fries in high school, and then we go to the movies. That was the rule.
Sneak them in under your coat.
Yes. Brendan, what was your first movie sans parents at the theater?
Oh, maybe The Matrix? Maybe? No.
The first
it was
one?
before that.
Because
might
you're
have been Star
100.
Wars. No. Oh, the re-releases of the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Where they re-released 1, 2, and 2, 3, 4, and no, 4, 5, and 6.
We got there.
4,
We
5,
got
6,
there.
yeah.
We got them.
I mean, technically, I saw
This
those in
man.
theaters too with my cousin, so I guess that counts. I was thinking at the time I went by myself. Like
I mean,
That
that
was
would have
The
been
Matrix,
me
but-
and like.
I've never
Friend
gone to the
of mine.
movies by myself.
that was
without anybody.
1997. It would have been when the special editions came out, because I had just gotten into Star Wars like 6 months to a year before that, and like my parents had taken my other cousin when she was a kid. Like they were coming out. She's older than me, so she took me to the theaters because I just gotten into it. So it's a weird generational thing going on. It's really neat. So it's rare that you actually get to watch those 3 movies in the cinemas anymore, unless there's like special showings going on. I know there were some of them being shown when the theaters were first daring to open up again in certain parts of North America. Like they were showing Empire Strikes Back as like favorites and stuff like that.
I know.
Otherwise, it's pretty rare.
The theater here on the weekends, they'll have like old movies around Christmas time. They'll play old Christmas movies and stuff that you can go see for a cheaper price during the day and whatnot. I'd love to go see Wizard of Oz in theater. That's like my childhood movie. That is, my dad would call me every time it or Willy Wonka were on TV. I would get a phone call. This is on TV right now. Thanks, Dad. We don't need that anymore, but thank you. So, yeah, I dig that. I dig it. Sorry, I went off on a movie tangent. I got excited
That's
for
nice.
a little bit.
That's fine.
Well, I mean,
Speaking of movies,
I on brand.
Yeah.
I miss the days when like I remember taking like girls on dates in high school to the movie theaters, and it cost less for both tickets than it does for one ticket now. And that's not that long ago. I mean, that's a while
movies
ago,
are
but
down.
not that long.
Inflation has definitely hit movies, that's for sure.
We went to see the Batman this week. Oh, hey, there's a thing I saw. We went and saw the Batman, and we got a $50 gift card for Cineplex 2 Christmases ago, and we just used it. And for our 2 tickets and our popcorn and all that, I think I had to pay like $5 on top. So
Yeah, no.
not a cheap date anymore.
The food especially is out of control,
But it's so good.
but it's how they make their
Ooh.
money. I guess I can't
No,
begrudge
I want
them.
movie popcorn. I was ordering it over like the pandemic. I'm like, I'm just in the mood for popcorn right now, and
That is one of the more ingenious ways that businesses stayed afloat.
Yeah.
through the
Absolutely.
pandemic is skip the dishes, your popcorn. Back to the news though. We had one more trailer to talk about.
did we? Oh
Uh,
shit! Sorry.
Yeah,
Vaguely.
no, that was a natural flow. Jordan, what's up with Puss in Boots?
It
Well, you see, he is
is
a puss
coming.
in boots.
He is a
Did we
cat,
care?
as you know. He wears boots, and that's the plot of the movie. It's the
2 of
origin
them.
story
That's the
of how
entire.
he got his boots.
Didn't they already do that?
I don't know. I think so. Maybe.
Oh, okay. So you're talking.
Is it actually the origin story, or are you just being a
No.
jack?
No, I'm just being a jackass. No,
As you
it's,
should.
It looks really cool. It's called it's like Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. So basically, it's like
that sounds so sad.
From what the trailer showed, it's like Puss in Boots is basically like in the course of his adventuring has died 8 times, but because like cats have 9 lives or whatever, or he's got 9 lives, he's like literally on his last life. So if he dies one more time, he can't come back.
I'm so upset right now. I don't like that.
It looks fun. I didn't actually watch the first Puss in Boots movie. I heard it was okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I've heard it was fine. And you know what? I've gone back and rewatched, like, even like Shrek the Third was like just fine. And
Brendan was just yelling about Shrek yesterday. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because it looks really bad now. It looks so bad.
It didn't age. The second one holds up. I think the first one did not age well.
No,
that was pretty
like,
CG though. That was.
I saw you shaking your head there, Chris. And listen, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying upon second rewatch, it's not as bad as we all like shit on it for. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's not the movie you're gonna die on, right? That's not it.
That one.
All right.
I die on the first Shrek movie being kind of overrated. It doesn't really hold up. The second one is like solid gold.
My niece, I believe, or maybe my nephew, got obsessed with the Shrek Christmas special. So right around Christmas time, I believe every time I went to my mom's house, that was on TV for an entire Christmas. I'm good. I'm Shrek'd out. No more Shrek.
I haven't cared for Shrek since the second one came out. Like, I don't think it's worth all the meme appeal it has.
I don't blame you 100%. I agree with you. I mean, this looks fun. I like that they did kind of like a mixture animation style where it's like the kind of like, you know, like look that a lot of the most DreamWorks and like the Shrek movies and even Puss in Boots had. But then there's like a couple little like action sequences they show where they like, you know, kind of like use that slow down frame rate that like Into the Spider-Verse had, so it looks kind of comic booky and cool. So I'm excited to see it. It looks fun. It looks like it looks like it's got a good sense of humor. So I don't know, I'm into it. It looks neat.
I'm just, why are they doing another one now with the like is with were there things?
It was a good conversation.
That was a good talk. There was 2 thoughts.
I'm glad you could be here.
I kind of got started by my own thought of why is Antonio Banderas doing this? Is he even in this? Yeah, why now for this? Like, why do another spin-off that's so far removed from the other ones? Like, is there really an audience for this anymore? Are they trying to like cash in on the memes?
There's just a whole new group of kids now.
No,
and even Mike Myers is like, I'm not touching this. It's like, I already set my career.
Memes. Yeah, they definitely would have done another Shrek. I guess
I'm frankly surprised they haven't actually. Kind of think of it.
But you've got to think every like 7 years or so, they've got a whole new group of kids that have come of age. Like we went through the Shrek age, we went through the Frozen age. I'm losing my voice apparently. Sorry,
we're falling apart this week.
So now there's well, as you can see from my face at the beginning of this, nothing good's happening. But so every 7 years, there's got to be a new thing, even if it hangs on to the familiar, right? So I'm betting you Puss in Boots is going to happen at my house.
Thing that they got to do it just to sort of like keep the lights on at the Shrek factory, but like remind people that maybe Shrek's going to happen again.
A Shrek assembly line, like this created a weird
donkey.
Another 20 years from now, there's a weird horror movie from the Shrek factory. Sorry, I thought that was funny. I lost it.
That's more interesting to me than Puss in Boots too. But actually, I thought in there too. Like I recently rewatched the first 2 Toy Story movies with my kids, and the first Toy Story and even the second one, their graphics are like, they don't age well. They're from that little that Shrek 1 time period. It's just that early stuff.
The first Toy Story predates Shrek by like quite a few years.
I think the second one came out even before Shrek first came out, so I think they both beat it. But that's early days CG.
Yeah,
doesn't hold up too well.
I still like Toy Story too.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, again, like a lot of weird stuff happened in that I thought happened in the second movie, vice versa. Yeah. So, anyways, we're straying right into the weeds.
I have more off-topic stuff if you want to do that.
I was going to go on to the next topic we have, but go on.
Okay. Actually, this...
Go off, Queen.
No, we're good. No, I'll get to it later. I'll distract you all later. That's fine.
our last news thing is that tomorrow the first round of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC starts, bringing 8 courses. So we've got 3 from the Mario Kart Tour mobile game, and then from Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 64, and Mario Kart Wii and DS. How are we feeling about these? Are we excited?
Didn't they just like load them all in? You can't touch them at all yet, but you can just go look at them. You can just go see them.
The menu is there,
That's
but
weird.
it's like you can't actually access the cart.
So they updated the software already?
I think so. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
it online too. That
Yeah,
that happened. You can just look at them.
Well, they're live tomorrow, so that'll.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Sure.
I mean, looking at the list, it's like I don't recognize most of these ones. Well, I didn't really play Mario Kart Tour, so 3 of these courses are basically brand new to me.
But like, it's like Paris Promenade is an okay level. I'm not. I don't remember Toad Circuit. I do love
Coconut Mall from
Mountain.
Wii was a good one.
Coconut Mall is pretty iconic. Yeah, if nothing else, Choco Mountain had like one of the best like themes.
All
It's
right.
kind of sad because I played Mario Kart DS and 7 like a lot, and I don't remember those 2 levels. So that's kind of
I
weird.
played Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii like crazy, and if they don't bring like Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road into this thing, I'll be very upset.
Every Rainbow Road should be in it by the end of this DLC.
I mean, at the very like, 'cause, you know, even
Trauma.
even if they did a remastered version of the DS one, because the DS one had those cool elements where you do like the loop-de-loop, and I know it's not like unique now because there's a shitload of loop-de-loops in Mario Kart now, but like, and there's all this zero gravity stuff. But I just want Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road at the very least because it had the best music of I would say arguably any Mario Kart track of all time. Like, it's so great. It's so whimsical, but it's like fast-paced and epic and tense and little.
I want a mode where it's just Rainbow Roads back to back.
The Rainbow Road Cup.
Yeah, there you go.
Rainbow Road.
Well, because like the Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road is in 8 Deluxe, and it's really what they did to it was really cool. Like they really touched it up.
Yeah, rather than lap it, they just like made it like all like extended parts of it. Yeah, that was really cool.
I'm a little worried about the tour levels because like I'm not sure if they're going to be up to the same standard as the console ones, but
I think like conceptually the way that the tour levels are kind of designed isn't terrible. It's just that game, like every other part of it, is so terrible that like it doesn't matter how good the courses are because they put like other courses like from the main games into Mario Kart Tour, and it's like the same way they are. I think Yoshi Circuit from DS was in it, and it's like it's the same layout. It's shaped like a Yoshi, but because the controls on the mobile version are so garbage, it's just like it's never fun to play. So I think maybe the levels probably like this is where like I'm kind of saying, oh, like they're actually doing the good version of Mario Kart Tour now, like because the levels are fine. It's just the game sucks.
All right.
I do kind of wish there was new characters to go with it, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's available tomorrow. You have the expansion pass thing for Switch Online that'll be included, or you can purchase it for I think it's about $32 Canadian. So I'm just glad to have more. I'm just glad to have more levels in this game because I've been playing it a lot for my kids. My son is obsessed with it, so I'm just like, yes, more content is fine.
Something different.
Same levels over and over again, please.
That's good.
Yeah. Every day's Groundhog Day. Kill me. Anyways, that'll do it for our news segment this week. Into reviews and impressions. Speaking of kart games, this week I reviewed Chocobo GP.
Smooth transition.
Yeah, I'll power slid into that one. So Chocobo GP is a Final Fantasy spin-off from the Chocobo series, which was itself a spin-off of Final Fantasy. So it's a very self-referential kart racer. There's a whole story mode that has you running into some Final Fantasy characters and the summons and all that stuff, and does some neat stuff. My kids actually enjoyed watching that, whereas I was laughing at all the inside jokes in the series. They were laughing at the cute characters and stuff like that. So it was a win-win situation. That being said, first of all, it's not going to beat Mario Kart. Nothing ever will touch Mario Kart in the kart racing space. I mean, it's just there. It's just a fact of life. But this was kind of a fun diversion from that. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8 recently, so to play something that's similar but different was a good compromise for my kids. Like, like my son's obsessed with the one character now, and it's like, okay, this is good. We're laying groundwork for when you're old enough to play the real games.
We're moving on.
Yeah, no more Wario. We were obsessed with Ben the Behemoth now. That being said, I'm not sure it's really worth playing for anyone who's not already a fan of Final Fantasy. Like, this isn't going to scratch a kart racing itch for anybody else unless you're like into that stuff. Or like trying to get your kids into
Why
it.
does Final Fantasy need kart racing? I do not.
It doesn't need it. No.
Okay.
That's not
just
a
a
thing that's
happy
ever
little
needed.
accident. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because they made one on the PS1 back in 1999, so now they're like updating it.
That wasn't a kart racer though, was it? Wasn't it just? Oh, I thought it was just Chocobo racing, and you just like ran around as Chocobos.
They did a version based on the breeding mini game from Final Fantasy VII, but there was like Chocobo Racing on PS1. The standalone game was like Kart Racer.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just straight like Chocobo.
No, because Cloud and Squall were unlockable, and it was like the Squall version of Squall was so funny because he's like all moody in the game, and now he's just like driving around in that car that from the one cutscene.
Now they get to be paid DLC rather than unlockables.
That's the other thing. There's some gross.
I was gonna ask you about that because I've heard people say that it's very like it's designed very like scummy with the microtransactions and the battle pass and everything. And
it's no worse than anything else that does it. But that being said, that's not a great defense.
They were just hoping that it didn't show up.
Low bar, Chris.
My friends are doing it, so I can do it too.
It's not making it worse than anybody else.
If Chocobo GP jumped off a bridge, would you?
Maybe. Like the season pass thing is
the
season pass, right? Everyone's doing it now. Fortnite does it. Like if you want Spider-Man in Fortnite, you have to hit like level 90. Like I ground my ass off in Fortnite to get the Spider-Man skin. But now
hurry up.
Chocobo GP, I already got it. I'm good. I'm
okay.
I got everything I wanted. But in Chocobo GP, you have to get to level 60 to unlock Cloud this season. So
weird.
Tomato.
I know. Why am I like? Ugh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I miss Fortnite.
I know. I'm such a.
I would argue that it's maybe a little bit different in Fortnite because Fortnite's free to play, whereas Chocobo GP is a $50.
You have to purchase the game and then purchase the battle pass. I'll give you that.
It's a kart racer that's very like clearly designed for young children. Like, I don't think all the burly testosterone-filled men in the audience are getting excited for Chocobo
Sorry, Chris.
GP.
Am I not burly and testosterone filled enough?
Listen,
the beard says otherwise.
I was saying the audience.
Please do. That's our next stream.
Of course, we're all burly, sweaty men on the podcast, but in the audience, it's different.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
twist my mustache.
They gave enough like of the currency to buy the season pass to everyone who's like playing it now. So like for the first, whatever launch period, you'll get enough in-game currency when you log in for the first time to get the season pass. So I guess that makes
sense. Well, that happens with Fortnite too, though. If you complete your season pass by the end of it, you will have enough to buy the next season pass.
Yeah.
So realistically, you only have to play once, unless you buy stuff and whatever. But that is a good point, Jordan, to do that in a free-to-play game versus a game you've already paid for, or a step further in a game that I'm going to say, is it Chocobo?
Yeah.
Chocobo? Okay. In a game like that, you don't know how long they're going to build on that content. Yes, Mario Kart just got new levels and new whatever, but Fortnite is going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So they have to keep making money to keep paying the people to keep playing the game or making the game. Whereas this theoretically could just end and then move on to a new game that you then have to purchase. So you do have to keep money coming in. Not to say Fortnite's doing poorly and really needs more of it, but you know what I mean.
No,
they got rock money. They're fine. Like that's the whole thing, right? Like the transactions, that's kind of the standard for the industry, minus the free to play to whatever season pass thing. But it's just, does the game warrants it? And I don't think it has that kind of longevity to be putting all your eggs in this basket.
I think part of it too that bothers me is that it's not just Chocobo. It's like a lot of the stuff that Square has been doing recently, like, that make it seem like it's like turning into this scumbag company. Like, they did it with the Avengers. They did it with like Lost Ark being a giant pile of crap. Like now there's this, and then, they want to start doing NFT stuff. Like, it's
Speaking of NFTs,
I don't know. It's signaling a very bad trajectory for this company. That seems to, like, if you can take a spin-off kart racing game, in the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon franchise, and start attaching all this microtransaction battle pass, season pass crap to it, like how much lower are these guys going to go, right? Like,
well, that's the thing. It's kind of scuppered this game for some people that were excited about it, got turned off immediately by all this stuff. It's like, I wish the business stuff would stay out of the game, because there's some good stuff in these games they're putting out for the most part.
And that's the thing too. Like, that's where, like, that you're it's so, like, tricky to navigate those waters, because like you said, and I've heard other people say it too, like, the game itself is actually pretty solid. Like, it could I've heard some people say it could rival Mario Kart.
I certainly like aspects of it better. Like, Mario Kart is a smoother engine overall, but like the item system in Chocobo GP is really neat. Like, you go around, you collect items like you do in Mario Kart, but much like Final Fantasy Magic, like, if you get 2 fires, it levels up to a stronger fire attack. If you fill up your hopper of magic and keep getting stuff, you get ultimate, like the ultimate spell. Like, there's some neat spins on it. And each character has a unique ability, which is really cool. Like, in Mario Kart, everyone's kind of the same aside from some stats. And this, you've got stats plus, Swallow has a big like slash attack, and like one guy charges forward and stuff like that. So it's a neat engine in its own right. It's just, the microtransaction stuff. Plus, there was some there's some connection issues at launch that weighed down the one mode. So yeah, it's like pretty average game that's getting some drama because of some shoddy business practices. But
aren't they all?
It's the business.
Well, that's the business these days. The other thing I reviewed this week is recently was the Hex Gaming Arrival Tactical Controller for PS5. It's a very pretty controller. It's an esports controller. So you got these paddles on the back.
There you go.
It's a very nice controller. I'm struggling with it because it's nice. It's a really nice controller. It's really smooth. It's just the paddles I found were really in the way. Unless you have a really dedicated use for them in the game you're playing, I think they're more of a hindrance than anything else. Like, in my house.
Now, is that how you feel about paddles? Do you feel like that about paddles in general, or are those ones just specifically in a bad spot for them?
Specifically, I haven't used the Xbox Elite controller at all, so I can't speak to that one. But like, just the way they are, like, I set it down on the couch, like, to get up and get a drink or whatever, and like the buttons were pressing on the couch and doing stuff in games and like moving things on Netflix menus and stuff like that. It's just like, if you're constantly holding it and you have a very specific use for those paddles, it's a nice controller. Like, it's easy enough to like reprogram them on the fly and things like that. But that being said, for the price tag, it's a very smooth controller. I'm surprised it wasn't. Sometimes third-party controllers can be kind of junky. It does not feel junky. It's a very smooth controller. It's not helping me win in matches in Destiny PvP or anything like that. But
it is cool looking. Look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful too. Like, it feels solid. Like, it doesn't feel like a piece of plastic junk or anything like that. It's just a very pricey controller, and I just don't think the price tag is quite warranted.
I can't remember. I'm trying to look up which one it was, but I'm never going to find it. I did a few wired controllers for Xbox last year, I think. And I had one. They all had paddles and whatnot. They were wired, which is a whole problem on its own. But one had these like metal bars for buttons. So there were 2 underneath, and you could remove them. But the problem was, if you even so gently hit it on its side, they'd pop out. Yeah. So I'd be playing and I'd take my fingers away and I'd knock half the buttons off the back of it. And I'm like, that seems a little counterproductive.
Do you use the
I have to put my controller back together? I don't. Too much for me. But I do know my ex-husband, he swears by them. He's gone through 3 of them because he games a lot, and they're good controllers, but eventually they still walk. They still do all the things that you don't want them to do. But those buttons on the one that I had just launched all the time. And I don't want to, I'm the same as, like, I don't like PC gaming anywhere except for at my PC, because I have a special mouse that I use with special buttons. And if I go somewhere else now, there's different buttons. And so I don't want to get into that habit with my Xbox, and then I can't just like go over to your house and play Xbox, because I'm like, but this isn't the right button. I'm trying to walk, but I'm building something. And I'm like, no, nothing good is happening. I can't. I'm a creature of habit. See what happens when you change my keyboard.
Fair. Oh, I wouldn't dare.
Don't do
Lose
it.
an arm.
Don't do it. Or you get a lot of spelling errers.
Yeah, there you go. That's just as bad, arguably. Yeah, but kudos to Hex Gaming. Like, keep at it, guys. It's a nice controller.
Keep at it.
Glad
The small little company, Hex Gaming.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've never heard of them, to be honest, before this.
Brendan, you're super far away from your mic.
Yeah,
Come on closer.
Is
That's better.
Yeah.
I was trying
He's
to
just
determine
like
if it was
laying
on my
back.
end or not.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, good times.
But are you sitting in a Titan Evo 2022?
No, I'm sitting in the Razer
Isker fabric.
But I did review the Evo 2022. Is that right?
The Titan Evo 2022 is what you did.
Yeah, I loved it. It was good. I love the little flourishes they did to the chair. Really make it feel like a much more refined chair compared to last year's, or even the year before that, or any Secret Labs chair up to this point. The magnetic headrest, I think, is a great choice. I love the armrests that do just kind of pop on and pop off real easily. And I just like how it overall has more adjustments. It just feels more secure. It just feels like one of the most premium chairs I've tried up to this point.
This is good news. And this is what I was going to get distracted with earlier. I think, Jordan, you're not sitting in a gaming chair at the moment, but Brendan is. Chris is. Chris, how tall are you? If you don't mind my asking.
6'1".
Damn it. Brendan, 6'2", right?
6'2", yeah.
Can you tell how short I am compared to all these guys? You can't see the top of Chris's. You can see the top of Brendan's head. Whoa, where? There. Whoa, that was hard. The top of Brendan's head over top of the Isker. And then there's, oh, geez, little me. I am in the DX Racer covered by my sweater because it's completely see-through. Hold on. There you go. See, there's Brendan. Yeah, it is. It's a cool chair. But yeah, man, chairs just aren't built for us. They're just not built for us short folk. I think I can almost, no, I can't touch the floor in this one either. Thank God for
mine's designed for
footstool.
tall boys, so
big and tall boys. I
Big and tall boys.
It said. Yeah, I'm excited to future check out one for us wee folk because I look itty bitty and you can't even see your chairs. So I'm sitting in a throne.
It's like a what was the villain on Spectre Gadget?
Oh God, which one?
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw. It's kind of like that.
Yes.
That's the vibe you get. It's like that, like evil genius in the big chair.
I'll take it. I dig it.
What did you review this week?
Yeah. Me? I think I already talked about it a little bit, but I brought it again to play show and tell. My review for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 came out this week. It didn't get as high a score as other people from me. Here it is. My pretty theme.
Fold it right now.
Hold on.
Ooh,
I'll give you a sec. It's a really nice looking phone, and it's okay. It's 10:28 p.m. Eastern, if you were wondering. It's a nice phone. I'll give it that. It's a little clunky and strangely slippery compared to other phones. I can't explain it, but if I put it anywhere because of its weight, it just goes woo. But
I don't know why that is with a lot of Samsung phones. Like even I have the Note 20 and it's got like no like texturing on it. It's just like this like flat matte.
Well, and it is. If you look at it, it's
smooth. No, I can put this phone just like on my like knee, and if I like move it all, it just whoop, slides right off.
Yeah, it especially this one though, like it's weighty. So as soon as I do put it on, it just goes and we lose it. But that being said, it didn't break and I dropped it a lot. For that reason, and just because I'm not brilliant. So it is a cool phone, but I think most of what you're paying for is the gimmick. The camera on this thing, I think the best camera is 12 megapixels. I think you can compare that to the S22 Ultra that just came out, which I believe is 40.
No, I think it's 108.
Okay, but one of the cameras, the lesser of those cameras is 40. I've got the S22 here. S22 Plus, sorry, that I think that one's 40. I've got to go look up these numbers. I don't remember numbers. So it doesn't take great photos. Most of what you're paying for is the fact that it has a gimmick and the fact that it has this big screen. And unless you can find a very, very specific use for that, it's not worth it. It's over a $2,000 phone to get, like I said, it's a premium price, but not premium features. Again, I like it to watch TikTok or YouTube because it makes a nice big video. But if you try typing on it, the front screen is so small that even my little fingers, little-ish, are super hard to type on. And then when you go into the inside of the screen, it splits up the keyboard, so half of it's here and half of it's here. And that's a whole new, if you swipe to text, you can't do that. So it's a lot of learning. So again, unless you have just like a ton of money to blow and want something cool and fun, because it is fun, people look at it and they're excited and you're excited and life is good. But it just doesn't do anything well enough to justify that price. I scored it lower than the Z Fold 2. Not by much, by I think half a point. Only because they didn't improve enough to make it 3. They're just like, nah, you have the 2, and now give me $2,000 because this one has a 3 on it. And it looks almost the same. It works almost the same. Actually, you can't use TikTok properly, which is a strange thing to be mad about. But all of the Samsung phones right now, the Fold 3 and all of the 22s so far, at least the 22 Plus and the 22 Ultra, you get an error for a lot of the filters. So I don't really post a lot of TikToks, but I like to play with them. And if I'm laying in bed, I can't just like click, what does this look like on my face? Because it just says this isn't compatible with your device.
Now, is that just the matter of them just like maybe they'll update that in time, right?
I'm not sure if it's Samsung or if it's TikTok, but it's been, so I reviewed this over probably the last month. All the 22s have come out since then, and I'm now on the 22 Plus, and they still haven't fixed it. So I don't know if it's coming from Samsung, coming from TikTok, but I don't know any other phones that have that problem. And to be a brand new phone and not work with something that's so popular right now seems silly. Some of the filters do, but most of them don't.
That's really strange.
And that's my weird rant about TikTok, because I am that many years old now. I'm mad about TikTok.
It's a big app to not be supported on a new
phone. Right? Like something weird and obscure, or even a phone that, I was going to say a phone that we don't have here, but TikTok's everywhere. Everybody's addicted. So it's a strange situation to me.
So it's a good conversation starter, but maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think my 11-year-old niece would love it and have a great time with it and would do everything she needs and then some. But she's 11. Does she need a $2,000 phone?
And I was just thinking, I don't want to give a phone that's going to projectile launch itself across the room to an 11-year-old.
That is fair too. Yeah,
that's
fair
bad
too.
News bears.
It doesn't seem worth it, and because of the extra screen, it's supposedly extra breakable. Like I said, I have put this thing through its paces. Whoops, but I just don't think. Oh, Miss Castro says an 11-year-old niece does indeed need that phone. It may or may not be my niece we're talking about. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's good, it's fun, it's just not outstanding, and for that much money, it needs to be outstanding.
Yeah, that definitely seems like one big thing that can go wrong too with that. Yeah, that screen. But yeah, that's gonna do it for reviews.
Weird.
Jordan, what you been playing this week or watching?
I mean, I watched Turning Red, but maybe I'm not the right guy to fully like go in.
You're allowed to like a movie, even if it's not.
I like
if you're not a teenage girl, child,
Listen,
parent.
Most guys on Twitter and review sites in the last week that were not the best authorities on it were complaining about it a lot. So if someone wants to speak positively about it,
Was that
periods in my Pixar movie.
Cinema Blend is the one that did something weird, right?
Yeah,
I was talking about user reviews, but.
Well, yeah, there was one guy who complained about it because, like,
I don't relate to this character. I can't like this movie.
Yeah,
Welcome to relate to the human empathy, sir.
I really related to Evil Dead. That was
and a lot of people very quickly called him out on that. It's just like, how are you a film critic if you like can't relate to a character in a movie?
like I get maybe there's things you shouldn't touch on. Like maybe it's not your experience. Maybe it's not. Maybe don't go on and on about how it's a metaphor for becoming a woman and this, that, and the other thing because you don't know that experience. But it's still a movie. Like you can still talk about the movie. You don't have to talk about that experience.
Apparently, the site did pull the review though. So
yeah,
apparently they weren't pleased either.
You know what, I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed like the characters were all great. The animation was solid. There's the one character, Abby. She's like the little short girl in the like purple overalls, and she is so like comically anime. Like every way they animate her face, it's like just so like ridiculously anime. It's so great. Like it actually like it almost feels like the good version of what a 3D like Miyazaki movie would have been.
Like, yeah, fair.
Just like because the way she's animated, like it reminded me so much of I forget her name, the little girl from Totoro. Like the way her face always was just it was fantastic. Yeah, and yeah, no, it was good. And even though like I didn't care much for Encanto, like I do sort of echo some of the sentiment that a lot of people have sort of like online, kind of saying like this current trend of like Disney movies that are sort of like breaking past like generational trauma is really good, and like exploring different actually exploring like like different races and characters and like people like actually being represented on film, like what Disney's been doing kind of as a business lately hasn't been the best, but
Yeah.
they keep backpedaling, so whatever. But yeah, no, it was fun to see all the Toronto references too, like pointing it out, like the big shout out to Daisy Mart right at the beginning. It's just like they like they call the Sky Dome, but I was like I genuinely like
that makes me
choked up
happy
for half a second. I texted my girlfriend. I was like, oh, they called the Sky Dome in this movie,
As it should be.
And she was just
I was
like,
afraid it's
why
not
is it
called that anymore. Yeah.
What is it, the
Yeah,
Rogers Center now?
yes
It's the Rogers Center. Yeah,
Jay's fan here, don't mess that up.
So yeah, it was neat. I liked it a lot. It was really funny. Like it had it was cool. And yeah, not being a young woman myself,
You mean
I
you're
can't
not?
totally. No,
He did say we are all big burly men here on podcast.
That's true.
Don't let these wily good looks fool you. I am not a 13-year-old girl.
But how do
beard
you
had
keep
been
your
going.
skin as smooth as a baby's behind, not being a 13-year-old girl?
Dark magic and pacts with the devil.
Knew it.
Isn't that also black magic? I don't. What need?
It's a different kind.
Okay.
The black
One's
magic
dark
is
magic,
when you
one's
need to
black
get
magic. Get it right.
The devil, right? Like,
I get it.
and then once he's there, you gotta do a whole different thing. Anyway,
In for a penny,
that's
in for a
another
pound.
podcast.
That makes sense. I buy that.
No, like I think like just like even just like from an outsider looking in, like I think that they did a pretty good job handling it. Like I know the director said that she like genuinely wanted to make like the like the period like or like analogy like way more prominent. There's only there's always sort of like one moment in the film really where the mom asks if the red peony has bloomed. Which I thought was pretty funny.
But then it becomes sorry, but then it's going to become those like books that you can find like everybody poops, and like it just becomes really obvious. Just let it be a metaphor. We don't need to say, hey guys, this is the movie you need to watch for.
I think in a way like maybe it could have been good, because again, like it's just like it's one of those things like with a lot of things that relate to like the human body, when you like stigmatize it and sort of like demonize it makes it like a lot harder to understand it. Whereas like if they had really gone like the metaphor is pretty like there, like
it's pretty clear.
But like because like aside from the red peony thing, and like there's like one or two moments where they like explicitly show like pads, right?
Explicit.
It's like they slow-mo on a shot of a box of pads. It's
okay.
Were they airplane stickers?
No. It's pretty funny. Because it's like an embarrassing like mom moment, because she thinks that like May goes to school because at the time she doesn't know that she's like turning into the red panda. She like genuinely thinks that like her daughter like got her period, so she's like I brought you some pads. It's like slow-mo how like embarrassed she is. And then she like then she turns into.
You guys have no idea.
panda.
Like girls are not allowed. You gotta do like the tuck up your sleeve, the tampon thing. If people find out you wear pads, it's the end of the world. It's even as an adult woman, like you have to hide this stuff.
That's what I mean.
I'm
like,
not menopausal, guys. I'm still good. Like,
if Disney had allowed it, which obviously they wouldn't have, like if it was allowed to be a lot more like front and center about like what it was about, I think realistically it probably just would have been a net positive for like tearing down those walls. And just understand, like this isn't a gross, like dirty thing. It's like it's just something that happens. It's it's part of the human body. It's part of a woman's experience. Like let it be.
My ex-husband grew up in a house with 4 women, so like when I met him there was no fear. He's like, yeah, whatever. Like no fear. But I've had other partners or whatever that don't know anything about it like at all. It's scary how little some men know. So it's an interesting experience as a woman. So I look forward to watching the movie.
It's just like, but like on its own too, like as a sort of like like coming of age tale, like and like the story about like sort of like young woman sort of like kind of starting to figure out who she is and sort of like to steer away from that idea, like which again I can't relate to and I can't really like speak to in the sense of how it refers to like Asian culture, but the idea of like I can kind of I think most people can kind of relate to like that idea of like constantly wanting to like like prove yourself and be perfect for your parents and like sort of like finding like when you become a kid or sort of like a preteen, you definitely start to break away from that mold where you kind of stop living for your parents and start sort of like living for yourself, and you want to make your own friends and do your own thing. And
I still haven't started doing that.
Oh,
Mom, are you watching? Are you proud? She's not, just in case we were wondering.
No,
Way past her bedtime.
I was gonna say mine's just not proud, but
she's
my mom would be like, why are you hanging out with all these boys?
I picked
where are all these boys around?
Dumb screen name and a questionable profession.
Yeah, my job just confuses my mom most of the time. I bring home like controllers and cell phones. She's like, well, why can't you bring home something I like? Sorry, Mom.
My mom genuinely almost threw this in the garbage. Like she's like, I put that cup of yours in the recycling bin. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was garbage. I was like, no, and I like ran to the recycling to get it out. It's a limited edition Zelda cup.
Yeah.
So
she used to get out of my house, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Jordan's actually on the street in a box right now.
Who are you? Why are you here?
This is the hill he dies on, or gets kicked out of the house for.
Whatever.
You ever had that episode of SpongeBob with Patrick's parents? All right, we didn't have kids. Who are you people? But yeah, I would highly recommend watching Turning Red. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Good times. Good times.
Who else wants to go?
You, I think.
Me? I want to
You're
go.
doing stuff.
You've a lot to go.
Yeah.
Go!
So I did a preview this week for something that's going up on the site on Monday, so watch out for that.
Not at 1 p.m.
Not at 1 p.m. No.
At 9 a.m.
Out of that embargo by a long shot.
Yep.
That's fine. Thank you for reminding me of my own stupidity.
That's what I'm here for. Usually it's me reminding me of me, so
yeah, that's fair. But I am in the process of reviewing another Final Fantasy kind of spin-off called Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. It's a journey.
Ooh, that came with that at the end.
It's I can't see it doing very well, generally speaking. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's like it's a Souls-like take on Final Fantasy, kind of like Jedi Fallen Order was a Souls-like take on Star Wars. I enjoy Souls-likes much more than Souls itself.
Just Souls in general.
That's fun in that regard. Like you take Souls and add in job classes and stuff like that. I'm much more interested, engaged in that. Story-wise, I had hoped they would turn down some of the meme stuff. It did not happen. They did not take notes on the feedback to the one scene where someone lays their heart on their sleeve and the main protagonist shouts bullshit, turns on his headphones and walks out of the scene, only to resume the scene outside.
That's awkward.
They should have taken notes on that one.
Weird.
Probably should have listened.
Yeah. So there's some weird stuff going on. I'm hoping it's paying off and towards as I get into the light parts of the game. Seems to be building towards something, and everything I've heard from the people who had the game earlier were saying like the ending is this or that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be divisive. I don't know. People are going to love it or hate it.
So with that, is it Final Fantasy fans are going to love it or hate it, or people in general? Like me, I know nothing about Final Fantasy at all. Do you think I could jump into this game and A, understand, B, care, or is it a game that can hold up as a game on its own, or does it have to be a niche?
You'll have a different appreciation for what's going on because you won't understand what they're like riffing off of, so it'll just be its own thing. Basically, they're taking the very bare bones story of the original Final Fantasy and like putting you in the shoes of somebody who is essentially, they're edgifying it. They're doing some other stuff, especially for you since you haven't really played any Final Fantasy. You won't get like any of the references because each of the levels that you go to is taken from one of the other Final Fantasy games. So they've taken like one area in the game that's based off of like a tower in the original Final Fantasy, and they've made it look like a tower in Final Fantasy 3, for example. So they've kind of mashed. There's one dungeon for each other Final Fantasy game that exists in the main series. So
like
that's
playing
really cool
Astro
detail.
without knowing anything about PlayStation.
Essentially, yeah. That's a good analogy actually for it. So yeah, I think you might have a weirdly pure view of it because I'm watching this going like, okay, so here's what they're doing.
They're messing up the guys.
Yeah, and like I played the original Final Fantasy a lot as a kid, so it's like the fact that they made the big bad of that game into a meme accidentally is like, oh, that hurts me on a weird inner child level. This big bad is now a meme, and it's like, oh, okay, that hurts. But yeah, I don't know how the general populace is going to respond to it when it's like officially available tomorrow. It's been in early access for the past couple of days, and they're already dividing the people who were committed enough to buy the digital deluxe version. So yeah, it's fun. I'll give it that. I just don't know how it's going to go down as a whole for people.
Can you like design the main character, or does he just look like the way he does in all the
like Sean William Scott?
You can't change his appearance, but the gear that you wear does change a lot, especially if you're like optimizing your equipment as you go through a dungeon gathering stuff.
Like I'm just looking at the pictures of like the basic image of him in like the V-neck t-shirt, and he kind of looks like if like Dante was an asshole.
He's not
like. Well, not really. No, it's actually if you go back and play Devil May Cry, he's actually pretty cool. Like he's a goober, but he's not an asshole. Like this is like if Dante had gotten into like Joe Rogan's podcast.
I'll show you this one though. This one screenshot. Oh, look at that hat.
Oh, that's a fedora.
He looks. Why does he look also like Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit?
Why did I think you were going to say Judge Judy? That's what popped into my head. Close though. He looks like Sean William Scott meets boy band. That's what he looks like.
There is a definite new metal vibe going on that I'm not too keen on.
Does anybody remember Sean William Scott, or am I just old?
There's the other protagonists, and that's autofocus, damn you. But yeah, there was one scene where like I was playing near my daughter earlier today, and she's like, "Why is everyone wearing face masks?" Like, because it had the best stats.
Is there no hide helmet option?
No,
I have a hide. I don't like games that make me design a character and then put something dumb on their head. If I don't have a hide helmet option, I'm mad.
That's fair.
That fedora thing is especially cool though because there's a scene earlier on in the game, like very early on, they showed in one of the trailers where Frank Sinatra's "My Way" comes on. So that character standing in a field. Yeah, I don't know where that's going.
If I ever needed a reason not to play a Final Fantasy game, that might be it.
Sold.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. People are gonna bounce off it left, right, and center. Which is too bad.
Maybe it'll become like a weird cult favorite. Maybe that's gonna happen.
That's the final boss music.
Just weird enough that it might get a cult following. That's all I want in a video game. I think that is my goal. If I ever design a video game, I just want to get that weird little niche of people that are obsessed. That's my goal.
Make Tomba, essentially.
Yeah.
Too far back for that one? Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Tomba was cool.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Tomba on the PS1. Come on.
He jumped on classics and bit them on the bum.
What?
That's a weird way to phrase that. Now no one's interested. But yeah, the review's coming on that one. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Guys, we almost
Brendan-
forgot too that the season of Fortnite ends this weekend.
To be
It's
fair,
gonna be a big event.
is that official? They have announced the event
Yeah,
because
no.
it's just been
Well,
rumored
no.
that it's coming.
They haven't announced
The
an
season pass
event,
thing
but-
said it was like through March
Yeah.
19th. So.
Yeah,
And it's
but
March 19th.
this has happened in the past though, where that doesn't mean that it's actually the end. They're not giving us that. Doesn't mean that the event is on Saturday, because normally they would tell us when the event is. There'll be a countdown in game floating in the sky that'll count down to something. Now, I'm hoping.
Maybe it's a smaller.
I wrote a whole article about how it should be, so I really hope I'm right. But yeah, it should be coming, but because they haven't officially announced anything, if we get on like tomorrow night and there's no 24-hour counter, there's not going to be an event, because they're not going to have an event that they don't announce that everybody knows to log in at that time to watch the event.
Or are they?
Okay, I guess that's fair.
So it's really weird that they haven't announced the official time yet. And even then, that means Saturday you watch the event and then you can't play for a day, and that's a bummer.
Well, they announced the Doctor Who thing today. So
Yeah.
That wasn't
that's
actually
the start
official.
of-
That's kind of an official thing they're using with the kind of the mod tools.
Oh, in the creative mode.
Oh.
Okay.
The
That could be
more
the
you
start
know.
of something. I'm curious what the next
Start
season
of
going to
something
bring.
beautiful.
Actually,
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of hopes and dreams. People are hoping for like full Mad Max type style. People are hoping for like, we think there's a bunch more card mods coming, a bunch more gun mods coming. Is Klompo gonna stay?
well, this is the thing, but the game like this where you're mashing together literally
Mhm.
every franchise ever. Like, what is
What's
the ceiling
next?
on this?
What's
Like
next?
for Smash Bros, you always had the limit of like certain things weren't going to happen because they had certain criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite, you can throw anything at this wall and it'll stick. So like, yeah.
Try to like think of what big movie is coming up in the next couple months that's like Marvel related or whatever.
Moon
And
Knight,
Well,
Fortnite.
yeah, like who knows, right?
When is Black Adam coming out? Because that's a rock.
Oh, that's been
thing,
pushed.
right?
It's been pushed a bit.
Mm.
Oh,
You could have
I
two
mean,
rocks
it's
in
gotta be,
Fortnite. Wow.
It's got to be something to do with the foundation.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Joe
Doctor
makes a good
Strange.
point.
Oh.
Doctor Strange is coming. And we don't have no, actually, did we have him in Fortnite yet?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Don't think so.
Do we need him in Fortnite? Honestly, God
Do we
damn
need
it,
anyone in Fortnite?
I mean, some people fine, but like Naruto and Doctor Who, like Doctor Who doesn't need to run around with a gun. shooting
Fortnite
people.
leak says Doctor Strange is joining the Battle Royale.
That's just a good guess. That's
Yeah, I
solid.
know.
Anything
Probably
Marvel
the
can
same
do,
way
yeah,
we're doing right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want Fortnite to have is a freaking character creator. Like, let me just customize a person. Like, don't make me pick from all these pre-made things.
Actually, you weren't around a couple seasons ago. You did get to do that. You get to create your Maya.
I bought a skin where I could customize a superhero.
Yeah, there's that
I
one.
want like a t-shirt thing.
There
too, like
was
t-shirt
a
guy.
battle pass season where you could you know how right now we've just unlocked like masks for Haven?
Mhm.
You would
Right.
unlock different pieces of armor and different styles for each piece. So you could eventually customize your own. The only problem is once you customize her, that's it. You can't
Oh.
change it around. It's just that's what she looks like. So now I play her and I love her and I made her badass, but I'm like, I wish I would have like made those boots black, or I wish I would have done that. And I'm a little bit angry every time, but I do like jumping in a squad with a whole team of Mayas. It makes me happy.
That's
I
pretty
think-
cool.
I kind of think
I wish I was
Fortnite
cooler.
works a little bit better though, like with the pre-made characters as opposed to like create your own character. Because like I feel like you look at a game like GTA where everyone thinks they make like the most badass character, and then everyone ends up kind of just like looking the same.
Yeah.
That's
looking
fair,
like
yeah.
an asshole. Like a lot of
Yeah.
Fortnite characters have really like cool, unique designs, and I feel like you are definitely gonna find something you like. You know, like
Mhm.
I
constantly
like what
bounce
Optimal
between-
just said. A
What?
T1000 skin that changes into the nearest skin.
That would be cool.
That's
would be cool.
wicked and could be
It does,
done.
like battle damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's all like blown apart.
I dig it. I dig that. Brendan, do you have anything you've watched,
there's
played,
a-
done? Oh, nope, sorry,
There's
my bad.
there's an emote you can use that lets you like copy like the last person you took out or something, or like someone you're near. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Probably cost 8,000 V-bucks.
I've seen people do it.
Oh,
'Cause
the
I've seen
V-Bucks.
TikToks where people like used it to like trick people into like thinking they were someone else.
Hmm.
It's possible. I don't know the specific one. Mystique. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense.
Is
if
that
anyone's
when
gonna
you
do it.
kill them though? What's the? I don't remember how it works. I have her.
I
Maybe
think
I
I've
should
seen it. I
figure
think
it
it's
out.
like yeah,
Test
it's like
it.
when you it's like the last person you kill, you'll turn into them.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's cool. I would just like to be fighting someone and then change into the person I'm fighting, because every time I see someone that's my skin, I don't know why, because I change my skin every 3 seconds. I'm so excited. Like, look, it's me.
Yeah.
They have a dumb back bling on. I hate them. I'm so mature. Such an
Yeah.
adult.
Fortnite's a very mature game, so it's fitting.
Ooh, it's something. Anywho, yeah, Brendan, you doing anything? Seeing anything?
No,
Watching
not really.
anything?
Elden Ring.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Elden
we
Ring.
talked about that already. So
But he's
That is
playing
fair.
games.
See?
I'm actually doing that.
And not like a 4-minute long indie game, so I'm pretty impressed. It's like a whole new Brendan. Oh. Then Jordan, you doing anything? Did we do that or just Fortnite? Was that
I
it?
mean,
Well, the
between
turning red was
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, turning red to turn into more of like a review than a preview or like a what you're watching, but yeah,
Still works.
mostly
You
just
watched it.
mostly just Elden Ring and another thing I can't talk about yet. So
That's fair.
Mine, I also cannot have any thoughts or feelings about. So I will serious face. Do not take this as a dislike or a like. But I am currently playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland on PC.
is it everything you hoped it would be? And
I can't
more?
tell you. You'll never know. You'll have to wait
Wait.
until next week to find out. I believe
It's
March
Borderlands,
23rd.
So I doubt it is.
It's quite the cast on it.
Yeah, but
Thoughts and feelings. Discuss.
We
So
can't
Jordan
have
thinks
them.
it sucks.
Mhm.
having not played it.
I have a feeling I might object to some of the personifications of D&D that happened in it, but
But is
Just based
D&D?
on the trailer.
Nope, I can't. Sorry.
Can't say anything.
No, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to mess it up.
What? Do you have an actual question about D&D?
Yes, but I can't ask it right now. So I'll talk to you after.
we'll just dance around the embargo like a
I was gonna say,
like a half game.
can you
March
phrase the
24th.
question in a way that doesn't like implicate the game at all?
I will say that the
Okay,
trailer
yes.
is not necessarily a good representation of D&D unless you're playing
Okay.
a very certain way.
So D&D, I only know because we have a bunch of like books and stuff here for games like D&D. Do those games, are they all like just in your imagination? Are they things that like you write down on paper? Are there boards involved?
There
It
is
depends.
character sheets. People have character sheets. It depends on how you run your game. Like you can have like a battle grid and characters and scenery and stuff. That's not
Because like
how I
what's the game that
DM,
you paint
but
little like figures
That's
and stuff?
Warhammer.
That is
Warhammer.
not the
40K.
same thing.
I mean,
That's
they
like
D&D
that's
can
miniature
have
wargaming.
miniatures.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Brendan's right. You can have like little. I've played a couple D&D games where we didn't have the actual models. I've seen people play like that. Like we just had like just like little like paper cutouts. So yeah, we had like sort of a dungeon grid. We had like our little like character icons that we could move around. And that was probably about as visual as it got. But
Yeah,
some
I
people
find
do
it's-
make like genuine dioramas and stuff.
I find that's just a lot more prep work for me because I end up DMing most of the time for my group. So it's like that's just more work for me and more minis to hunt down and like more added costs. So that being said, there are like online aids that do that stuff for you too. So yeah, you can kind of play it in a way however you want because it's all at its core theater of the mind, really. So
Yeah.
All right.
and yeah, the trailer that I've seen 1,000 times like has Cheetos on the game board and like all this stuff. Like yeah, that's the stereotype.
The
Come on,
Mountain Dew
guys.
flowed like a river. And then my mom came in and I had to say, Mom, I'm busy.
Just for the record, there are Cheetos involved in my gaming almost regularly, so
Yeah.
calm yourself. There will
not
be
all
one on the
gamers.
board if I'm playing.
Not all
They make
gamers.
it-
But
You know-
maybe Tiny Tina. Maybe she likes her Cheetos.
I believe
I
that.
don't
Some of
know
us
if
have
it's
more
the-
sophisticated tastes. It's like still
Sorry.
pickled Doritos.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you tried the spicy dill Miss Vicky's? I had one of those today.
Oh,
Sorry, I
that's
got
my
really excited.
favorite. Oh, that's so good.
I hadn't tried them. I love Miss Vicky's jalapeno and I love dill pickle chips. And I tried one and immediately went, "That's spicy." And then I
Yeah.
needed to
Oh,
eat
it's
more,
the
but couldn't.
best.
So
It's
Are Miss
two of my
Vicky's just a
favorite
Canadian
things.
thing?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Do we have
No?
anybody from America?
It actually
Watching?
might be.
They're
I was
delicious.
just thinking if that's
Miss-
one of those things.
Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips, I have to I can't just eat one because then my mouth is on fire for a while and I don't
That's
get
Pringles.
satisfaction. So I just like chase the hotness, so I get to the next salty chip and then the hotness, and then I eat a whole bag, and then I regret my entire life the next
all
day.
the burn catches up
The
at once.
recipe originated with Vicky and Bill Kerr at their potato farm in New Lowell, Ontario.
I want
That
to
is what it
create
was.
something with my partner that he names after me, or I name after me. I'm gonna go with he names
Miss
after me.
Dayna's. Miss
There
Dayna's.
you go. Well, yeah, because I remember that hearing that too. That it
I
was,
immediately
like,
sound
actually,
100.
originally in Canada. No, I was gonna say that I really love. I don't know if this is the new branding or if it's just for the one specific thing, but there's a flaming hot Cheetos popcorn, and what really makes me laugh is that Chester Cheeto is on the bag, like holding the popcorn, but his hands are just covered in like Cheeto dust. And I don't know if that's like now what they're doing across all, because I don't remember that of like previous bags of Cheetos, but now it's just like that they're like dropping the illusion that this isn't like disgusting
Cool Ranch Dorito
cheese
fingers. These two.
Cool
have you tried
Ranch.
the Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch Doritos?
There's Flaming Hot Cool
Cool?
Ranch.
Those are cool. Yeah, check them out.
That's a contradiction and abomination against
And I'm
nature.
excited.
It's
I love
no,
Cool
they're
Ranch
great.
Doritos.
They are.
I have
really
Cool
good.
Ranch Doritos at home.
Mm.
Do I get
So you're-
real food after, or do I eat bags of chips?
Mm.
Anyway,
Talk
this
about
has nothing to do with our podcast.
Yeah,
I have
we'll
no
have to
thoughts or
change it.
opinions on Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Great.
Sorry, that's throwing me off yet until next week. And that's all I got.
Mhm.
Chips.
Let's close it up.
So let's let Dayna get to her chips at home.
Yes, it's very important.
what
We should have a what you snacking on segment.
you
Oh.
snacking
I
on?
would
Just let me get
love
excited
that.
to eat after podcast. It's 11
Not
o'clock
bags
at
of
night.
chips. Not bags of chips for me because I can't. I'll do the whole bag thing too. I just don't
Me
recommend
too.
the house.
Don't limit me. Don't bring your sadness into my life.
That's gonna do it for us this week. If you'd like to read more on these topics and more, not on the Cheetos, not on the Cheetos.
I mean, we might have an article about Cheetos. Who knows?
We have one
sure
about
have snack
Butterfingers.
news.
Oh yeah, we do. That was
See?
real weird.
Nobody better lay a finger on it.
Ha.
90s joke. Anyways, you can find full coverage of our news topics at cgmagonline.com, as well as that review of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that's coming, and Stranger of Paradise and more. Be sure to follow CG Magazine on all the socials. Just search CG Mag, you'll find us. And if you have any questions or comments, send them to podcast@cgmagonline.com. Jordan, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at NinjaXJordan, and you can find me on YouTube at Ninja Jordan Reviews.
Dayna.
I am on Twitter and Instagram at the Dayna Eileen. I'm not
And
spelling
Brandon.
it anymore.
Yeah,
Me?
You can figure it out.
That's you,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. B426 and everything.
And you can catch me on Twitter at Hoogathy or here on Twitch at Guild2Taps. So for all of us from CG Magazine, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.